Yo, what's up, Taurus? How y'all doing? What's good? What it do? It is time to go ahead and knock out your bonus reading for June 2025. So when I do bonus readings, what I'm looking for are details, situations, and scenarios that weren't able to make it in to the main monthly reading for whatever reason. Whether I skipped over it by accident or it just wasn't able to make its way in there. So, for those of you in need of a personal reading, all the information on how to go about doing that is in the description of this video. And for those of you catching this on time, tomorrow is June 1st. So that's when my course on how to read the tarot is going bye-bye. So, I believe, though, my wife said that what we're going to be doing is releasing a bundle. So it may not all be lost because we're going to be switching platforms. So, yeah, I'm like 95% sure that for the first couple of weeks of June, there's going to be a bundle for all courses before we switch over to a totally different platform. So, yeah, but as far as just that course by itself, for $11.11, it's a two-part course. And I think the second part is the same, if I remember correctly. The link is in the description. Tomorrow morning, it's getting turned off. Okay? So, all right, let's jump into this. Let's see what's happening with the person that you're interested in. Single Tauruses and your love interest. What's happening in June? Anything good happening in June? Anything I missed? Anything that got left out of the main monthly reading? What can we tell the single Tauruses about their love interest in June? Ace of Swords reversed. So not the greatest communication in the world. Okay. Hey, the Hierophant and the Empress both reversed. Both Taurus cards, too, by the way. And so it doesn't really look like commitment's happening. Doesn't really look like you all are finding stable footing, you know. And honestly, it kind of looks like it's getting to a point where you're starting to kind of get over this. You know, it may have messed with your head there for a little bit and bothered you and weighed on you very heavily. But it almost kind of feels like you're getting to a point where you're just like, all right, well, fuck it then, you know. If you're just going to play games or whatever it is that you're doing, I'm over it. I'm over it. So, yeah, I feel like you're kind of pulling away from this slowly. Ace of Cups reversed. I don't really want to say that you're just walking away from this altogether, but energetically, you're just kind of slowly backing away from this, I'm thinking. Not like, yeah, like I said, not abandoning this. You're not abandoning this altogether, but just slowly backing away. So, okay, the signs I have on the table. Taurus, Aquarius, Libra. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Well, let's see what their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions are then. Person Taurus is interested in. What's their true feelings and intentions? What's their energy look like in general? What kind of person are they? And the Knight of Swords reversed. So, horrible communicator. Horrible communicator. Ah, damn it, man. Okay. So, I was just telling Aries this. I always try to steer around this shit. But, whenever, if you're an OG follower of mine, whenever I read either a new connection or a potential new connection, what comes through 90% of the time? New connection or potential new connection? What comes through? 95% of the time. the past. The past. But I feel like this person's kind of at a crossroads. So, the Two of Wands is about being at a crossroads and not knowing which path to take. They don't know if they want to reconcile with a past person or let go of the past and move forward and settle down with a new person. I do think they have feelings for you. I do. Now, this isn't their feelings and intentions. No, it is. It is. This is their feelings and intentions. Okay. So yes, they do have feelings for you. They do. And I do think they could see themselves with you. But they still feel unfinished business with a past person. So they're not sure. They're not sure. Do I reconcile with the past or do I end it? I think there's a part of them that knows that if they do completely let go of the past, what lies ahead, what the potential between the two of you could be beyond anything either of you imagined possible. But, they have that ego voice, the what if voice. What if I'm just making that up in my head? What if, I get with you and you just rip my heart out, So they don't really know. And they're a horrible communicator. Even if they wanted to be vulnerable with you, they wouldn't even know how to fucking communicate what's going on in here. Could be a Leo for some of you. I also have Scorpio. Let's just get the advice on this. We already kind of got the outcome for the most part, so let's just see if there's any advice. What is the advice? Advice for Taurus. What's the advice? Boom. Ace of Wands reversed, man. Eight of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles reversed. Well, okay, I think y'all need to have a conversation. It's about that time. Well, okay, let me put it to you like this. Either A, it's time to have the what are we conversation, or B, if you don't want to have that conversation, because that's always slippery, that's always an awkward conversation. We don't want to have that conversation. So if you don't want to have that conversation, then it's probably time to just keep backing away. Just saying. So I'm thinking that you're handling this the right way. You're making the right decision. But I would make sure that you have that conversation. Some of you may have, what are we? Where are we going with this? What are your intentions? So, all right. That was quick, fast, and easy. Time to shift gears now. Let's see what's due to come in next. What is due to come in next for Taurus? Single Tauruses. What's due to come in next? Uh-oh, Lovers reversed. This person has their guard up. The next person you're connecting with. Okay. Yeah. They're very insecure. Very, very insecure. They may feel like you are completely out of their league, So they got their guard up. They're very insecure. They don't understand why the hell you would want to be with somebody like them. And I'm not saying that means that you're doing something wrong. that has more to do with them projecting, you know. So they got their guard up. Honestly, though, I don't know. This person is probably been alone for a long time, you know. Definitely interested in a sex-based connection. But at the same time, I do think they're ready to settle down, but they're just very insecure. Very insecure, no self-esteem, no self-confidence. And they feel a very unusually strong connection with you, and that freaks them out a little bit. So they're trying to like push it away a little bit. You know, does that make sense? Damn, dog. Could be somebody at the workplace for some of you. Okay. But the question is this somebody that you know? For a lot of you, I think so. It's either somebody that you know, or by the time the two of you connect, you will have already known of them. But I don't think it's somebody that you have your eye on. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think you would be opposed to it. So it doesn't really feel like somebody that you're absolutely uninterested in, but they didn't really particularly catch your eye. I think you would be open to it, but this person's energy is just, something's funny about it, you know? And you may not be able to put a finger on exactly what's off about it. Let me see what their deepest intentions are. What do they really want? How do they truly feel? Unhealed heartbreak, of course. Of course. Most people with those insecurities and whatnot, it's unhealed heartbreak. So, hang on. It's getting to the point where they're just about to give up on love. You know? They're just pretty much about to give up on love. I don't know. This connection just scares the shit out of them, dude. They're just too unhealed. Too unhealed. And it's to a point where what I normally like to try to look at is whether or not there's potential, you know? Like, if they were to be in the right headspace, in the right heart space, would there be potential? But I can't even get a read on the potential because this person's energy is so off. There probably would be potential, though. I think so. I think so. But what comes through with a new connection or a potential new connection? 90 to 95% of the time, the fucking past. Past unhealed heartbreak. What is it with you and these horrible communicators? What is it with you and these horrible communicators, dude? All right, well, let's see how it plays out. What's the outcome? What's the outcome for the first 60 days? So you're not abandoning this, okay. And they're not abandoning you. So if you're wondering if you're getting ghosted, no. No. So I do think that they are slowly opening up to you and slowly starting to communicate better and better and better. I don't know. It kind of seems like a little bit, what's the word? I don't really want to say it's not on and off, but it's like start, stop. You know, things are picking up and then slow down and then pick up and slow down. So you all aren't really finding stable footing, but at least there is improvement happening in the first 60 days. So that's good. Let's get some advice here. What advice do we have for Taurus when the next person comes in? What's the advice? So don't walk away from this just because things get weird. Boom, boom, boom. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Well, all right. So, honestly, I think as long as things are moving forward, and as long as things do keep moving forward, you all are on the right track. But what I would say, just to smooth that path out a little bit more and decrease the chances of, this taking a turn in the wrong direction, make sure that what I would focus on if I was you is making sure that this person knows that they are totally safe to open up and be vulnerable and be themselves around you without being judged. Now, again, it's not all on you, because at the end of the day, they still have to see it. They have to want to see it. But as long as you know that you're making a really strong effort to just let it be known in your energy, in the ambiance of your presence, that when you're around me, you can be you, dude. You can be fucking you. I ain't judging you. I'm not looking down on you. I don't think you're an idiot. I'm a human too. I'm flawed too. I got fucking mistakes. I got demons that I battle. I've done dumbass shit in the past that I'm embarrassed and ashamed of. Same here. I ain't looking down on you. You good? Just make sure that is known. And the rest is on them. As long as they want to see it, they want to be with you, they want to see it, that guard will come down and it'll smooth that path out a little more in the beginning. So, all right, time to shift gears again. Let's see what's happening with the new person. I'm gonna figure out what deck I want to use. New person, the newest person in Taurus's life, person you just recently connected with. What's the energy looking like in June between Taurus and the new person? How are things looking between Taurus and the new person? Some of you may be dealing with somebody that's like always busy. I know that's not all of you, but man, I'm getting that. That's a real strong message coming through here. I hate to get too specific. But I feel like there's some of you dealing with somebody that's like always busy, and they're always coming up with excuses, maybe canceling plans, maybe not all that communicative, and they may say things like, "Oh, I'm working. I'm at work. I got called into work. Boss asked me to stay late. Not allowed to have my phone out on the floor." That type of energy. And you may suspect that they have an inbox full of other people. I don't know if they do. Just saying that energy is coming through here really, really heavy. Yeah. But even if it's not that specific message, you're still a little bit weary of this person's intentions. A little bit weary. So things are moving kind of slow here. Six of Swords, Chariot reversed. Things are moving a little slow. So, okay. Maybe some of you are wondering if they're trying to reconcile with an ex, possibly. Six of Cups, Tower card, both reversed. Okay. The signs I have on the table, I have Cancer. Could be a fellow Taurus for some of you. Okay. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Time to look at their true feelings and intentions. Are they honest? Are they being honest and serious and genuine, or are they full of shit playing games with you? What's this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Three shuffle. 1, 2. All right, last one. Page of Wands reversed. Uh-oh, Tower card. So for those of you wondering if they want to go back to their ex, no, they don't. No, they don't. We got the King of Wands there. So, no, they're not playing games. No, they're not. So in their mind, they have every intention of taking this very seriously. They got their guard up, though. They are guarded. Absolutely. They want to take things slow. They definitely want to take things slow. They are keeping most of their feelings to themselves. And I would probably even go as far as to say that they're trying to keep their feelings at bay. I would say that they're a little, it's not that they're afraid of commitment as much as it is they're afraid of wasting time. So, yeah, they're a little bit jaded, when it comes to the idea of love. A lot of people get jaded after they get their heart broke. They get lied to and manipulated and used and cheated on once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, Then eventually a lot of people just get to a point where it's like, yeah, this whole love thing, that's a crock of horse shit. That's a crock of shit, man. I just don't think there's anybody out there for me. I'm not saying they've fallen all the way into that way of thinking, but they're starting to become, receptive to that idea. They're welcoming that thought into their awareness, So I don't think their intentions are bad, though. I don't. No, I don't. If anything, they're just protecting their own heart. Not saying that I agree with it. It's not the smartest way to handle that situation, but they mean well. They do mean well. Well, let's grab the advice. What's the advice? Page of Pentacles reversed. Boom, 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 boom. Man, there's a lot of potential here. A whole fucking lot. 10 of Cups in the heart of the spread, bro. But then we have the Ace of Cups reversed right next to it. Lot of back and forth energies here. You know what I would say? One thing that it creates a domino effect that leads to problems later on down the line is not expressing your concerns in the beginning. Whether it's a red flag or something that's bothering you, or, and I get it, when you're dealing with somebody new, you don't want to push them away. You don't want to start a fight. You're hoping that thing that they do that you don't like, they just kind of stop it, I would work on slowly introducing your concerns into the mix, and make sure that you deliver that message like a calm, cool, collected, respectable adult. I'm sure you will, just saying. You know, there's some people out there that they like to express their concerns like a shitty, bitchy, nasty toddler with a fucking attitude. And then when it starts a fight, they like to blame the other fucking person for being defensive. Well, if you didn't come at me so goddamn fucking aggressive, then I wouldn't feel the need to defend myself, you know? So make sure that when you express your concerns, you're doing it in a way that, you know, they would be able to let their guard down and receive it, and just at least let them know and give them the time to start working on those concerns. Okay? And the two of you could build something very successful. All right? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Taurus family needed to hear. So I am going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is right down there in the description. And don't forget, tomorrow, June 1st, my course on how to read the tarot is getting turned off. Okay? So, grab that. The link's in the description. And, yeah, that's it. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.